Today we are going to deal with stoichiometry. As we all are aware of the fact that the metry means the measurements related to the qualitative estimations. So, in this chapter we are going to see all the measurements and calculations associated with the qualitative estimation that you might have done in your inorganic chemistry or organic chemistry assignments. So, in this the estimation procedure is dependent on two aspects. One is the gravimetry or gravimetric analysis, the other is volumetry. Now, when you are say in a laboratory where you have been assigned with a task that you have to find out the percentage composition of a mixture of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. So, in a process of determining the percentage composition of this mixture, so I mean to say the weight percentage of each, suppose you are finding out the weight percentage of sodium carbonate, which can be calculated by dividing the weight of this with the total, and after finding out we can find out the percentage of sodium bicarbonate as well. So, if you want to find out the percentage composition of this mixture, my dear students, at time you may be given the sample weighing 2 gram containing 2 substances, or you may be given a sample which is consisting of more than 2 substances as well. So, when you are given in such case, this sample which had been handed over to you has to be subjected to the experimental conditions. So, when we prevail the experimental conditions, we understand that there are two processes in which this can be done. One is gravimetry, the other is volumetry. So, if I take the raw sample, the crude sample of this thing is subjected to heating. Now, when this sample is subjected to the heating, so when I am subjecting these to the heating process, the chemical reactions that are involved in this may be simple, like decomposition, dissociation. So, here when I am heating the mixture of these two, as we all are aware that Na2CO3 is not going to participate in the chemical reaction, as we know that Na2CO3 is a stable compound, the carbonates of 1A except lithium are stable. So, when we are heating this, we understand only sodium bicarbonate is going to get converted into the sodium carbonate as well by the evolution of the gases like CO2 and water. Now, here the main task is assigned. So, this is your experimental procedure. Suppose you have taken a raw sample, subjected that to the simple reactions such as decomposition, double displacements, dissociation. Now, in that case it is referred as a gravimetry. Now, what we do later on is something associated with stoichiometry. So, here usually I will be measuring the weight loss of the sample, say is given as some 0.124 grams. Now, based on this data, I will be measuring the weights of each. So, when it comes to the gravimetry, usually we have to understand that the reactions that are going to take place are simple. Simple in the sense dissociation, decomposition, double displacement type, which you also call as or refer as the precipitation type. When it comes to the volumetric analysis or volumetry, the reactions are considered to be little difficult or rather complex one. So, for example, I want to do the estimation of the same sample by using the volumetric process. Here we have taken the raw sample, rather here we may have to prepare the aqueous solution. Suppose the aqueous solution of the sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate alkali mixture is added first, say phenolphthalein indicator and titrated with the HCl. We will be writing the concerned reactions, and since we have added the phenolphthalein indicator, when you observe the color change is usually in this case from pink to colorless. So, when you observe this color change, you will note down the volume of HCl as say some V1 ml, and after the completion of this you may be adding the methyl orange indicator to continue your titration by using HCl, where your sodium bicarbonate also reacts with this HCl to give you H2CO3. So, this is the end point of the methyl orange indicator, where the volume of HCl used had been V2. Now, based on this data, you are going to estimate how much each is present, where your result is going to be much precise compared to the gravimetric analysis. So, here when the sample is given to us, it all depends how you proceed in order to estimate the given sample. It could be either gravimetry, which is little vague, or volumetry. Now, to do this estimation or to measure the weights of each, numerically we adopt two methods. One is what we refer as a mole concept, the other one is equivalent concept. And we have to understand that there is no hard and fast rule that one has to use mole concept to gravimetry, equivalent concept to volumetry. You can use any concept to any metry over here.